ain't looking for no handouts, I say no. Always stack high and stay low. Tryna level up, better get with us. Gotta keep it real, cause you know it's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and uncomfortable. It's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and uncomfortable.
Welcome to another episode of Real and Uncomfortable. Today we're here with a special guest.
Hey.
We have Miss Rayven. She does a lot of behind the scenes work with Cortez. Speaking of Cortez, he just came in the building. What's going on, brother man? We was just talking about you.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you could give Rayven a better introduction than I could.
Okay, so this right here is the let's call her the glue of my operation.
There we go.
Okay.
She
on it.
is
You see what I'm
coordinator extraordinaire. Can I talk about like a little bit of the career?
No, yeah, do your thing,
Educational specialist. You know, teaching everybody, keeping emotional intelligence at the forefront, and overall advocate for women's empowerment. So
Sure am.
right,
Okay.
Miss Rayven.
If my facial expressions look crazy, please forgive me because I can't control it, okay?
No, girl, they were on point.
I can't control it.
Exactly how I felt. That's why I kept looking at you eventually because I was like, yep, she know exactly what I'm thinking right now.
And maybe one day you guys can see what they were reacting to. But for right now, we
I feel like there's a couple of clips floating around the internet somewhere.
yeah, somewhere.
We don't
somewhere.
want to get canceled just yet.
some moments there. Some moments
Yes.
there.
Topic-wise.
Topic-wise, why we keep looking at me?
Look, I'm always interested in your opinion on
For
things.
sure.
You owe me chicken nuggets, so that's why
Oh wow!
I just
Wow.
keep looking at you.
Yo, you know what? You keep the anger and the hunger to yourself.
No,
Yeah,
and you also wrote up a list of topics, girl. What do you?
I
read
did.
them
I was
all.
gonna, and you know it. You
All
know
right,
the list
so
of
let's
topics.
go.
You know.
So what are we starting with? Because I got some stuff that I need to say.
Okay. Oh, okay. See, now I know where she wants to go with this. And E, as a big proponent of social media, if you guys don't follow him, go follow him. E-Man Music, mixed by E-Man Music. He's been at the forefront of this social media thing for a while. So he can tell you firsthand that in order to have successful relationships, it will play a role. And what role that plays is kind of up to the people involved. Ray.
What's up? Don't call my name like that. What's up?
She says to be.
So we were having a discussion the other day. And I'm gonna start in a weird point and then we can get to where you wanna get to.
Okay.
So everybody knows Instagram, there's a couple main things, right? You can like, comment, you can DM, and you can save posts. Of those things, I kind of want to pose this question. What do y'all think is the most problematic thing that people can do with the things in Instagram?
They look stuck. Talking about
what-
facial expressions, you see man.
I mean, because I feel like I don't think that there's like one thing.
So talk about it. If it's a combination?
I know that women get upset about guys liking other girls' pictures.
Okay, what is that?
what
Where
I'm
do you stand on this?
I think for me, it depends on what the woman looks like in said picture.
Why?
What does that make a difference?
Why? What difference does that
No,
make?
listen. All right. So there was this girl that my boyfriend was following. I don't have these. I don't got these. She had very big of these and very big, you know. So, but her poses were like her whole page was
Right.
like OnlyFans.
But he's in the
like
door.
kind of
Right,
stuff.
okay.
And so I'm sitting here like
Facial expression.
Yeah, them expressions.
I'm like, I don't really. And he was like, nah, it's no big deal, and literally unfollowed her because it's not for him. He had knew her before me,
For sure.
and so the follow was obviously.
Oh, he
before
knew
me.
her personally.
So I don't know how.
Does that make a
I
difference?
wouldn't say.
I think it does.
It does.
I think it does.
It
I
does.
do. I do think knowing him personally makes
I
a difference.
wouldn't say I know exactly how personally, but I know that it wasn't on a level of, okay, we're really good friends still. It was just some like
You met
maybe
her or something.
we're an acquaintance type thing. For me, it's only problematic if that's what you're continuing to look at on Instagram. If that's something that just casually pops up on your feed, I'm not as upset. But if it's something that like you're constantly going to this person's page and literally every picture of them you are liking, then I'm like, all right, well, what is the issue here? Like, why?
I have a
Doesn't have to be an
quick
issue.
question.
Yeah.
Sure.
So let's say skip the likes, right? And he's constantly going to her page. Like for me personally, I don't care if you're scrolling past. You know, you look at it because I look at things that I like too. But what if he hits the save button? And then when you go to his saves,
Yeah, okay, we can't save that one.
Okay.
when you go to his saves, that's what you see.
Yeah.
Now, what
See,
you-
that's different.
It's
We-
different, right?
No, I feel like
Okay.
the save, you're taking the extra step to have something to go back to. Like, it could be you follow the person, you see, you like it.
You
That's
like
it. That's it.
So-
you like it, I love it.
No, that save
So,
is
yeah.
different.
You like it, I love
I'm
it.
gonna
Yeah,
say with the
yeah.
save.
With the saves, yeah.
What I usually tell me and my boyfriend have this thing where we like back and forth. We'll say like murder if we don't like something like that the other person is doing. That is absolutely a moment where I'd be like, fucking murder. What do you mean? Like,
Bro.
I'm losing my mind.
Bro, blink twice.
No, right?
Listen, he don't need to be saved.
Nobody needs to be saved.
He loves it here.
Okay?
I see.
He
Okay, I heard.
loves it here.
Okay, all right. Now, here's the thought, right? Well, first, actually, you know what? You haven't said a word about this.
That is
really.
a fact.
I want you.
I just did.
So to you, the problem comes in
Like-
when you save
When you save it,
posts.
Save,
so like
yeah.
me, like I know how I am, right? I find people attractive. I may be in the gym. I'm like, wow, he bench pressing 120. Look
Right.
at the muscles. I'll climb that. You know, be in the club. I'm like, wow, okay, he got money. I like that, right? But it ends there. Like I go home, I go about my business. You know, my attention, my energy is towards my man, right? But I feel like men, especially with the social media app, you guys need some sort of connection with these women that you would never touch or have no attention to touching. But
I feel
what-
like I gotta go home and look at my man's save.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
Like,
that.
I
Don't
feel
do
like
that.
if you go
Jeez.
through my saves, you'll see, you know, makeup influencers, you'll see clothing, you'll see, you know, workouts. You go through a male save, like pull up your save. Let's see. It's gonna be
It's-
ass
yeah.
and titties.
It could be. It
Yeah,
could
some
be.
booty hair, you know, some clothes hair,
But
some
we're
weird hair,
visual creatures.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
But
So
what's the intention?
So that's the thing. I don't think there is intention.
Yeah.
So like, and that's why I kind of wanted to stop. Oh, I wanted to stop you when you said about the save with the idea of going back, because I don't think that a lot of people really even go back to their saves. And I will say this: even if the thought was that you're gonna go back, couldn't I just search it again? Couldn't I just go through somebody else's things again? Couldn't I just go to their page again?
You could.
Like I could just find whatever I'm looking for.
But
One more
I feel
time,
like
like-
saving it is saying I need to go back to this again. I'm gonna use this information to
I
get
won't
access to
lie,
something.
I actually do go back to my saves. Most of my saves are like recipes or
Important
like
stuff,
funny
though, like, yeah.
funny videos or like, but again, recipes. So I save stuff
Information you
with
need
the
again.
very intention of like going
no,
back
it
to
makes sense.
Okay, no,
There's
no.
no disagreement there.
Here's the. It's very worse, right? Say they are going back to it. It's a picture of I don't know,
We know.
girl with the things,
Right.
right? What is he doing
What are you going
with the
back to it
things?
for?
I'm
just-
asking.
just-
I'm saying
just-
at the very worst,
just
if
for
say he goes
visual
back-
entertainment, that's it.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
that's the most it gets to.
thankfully,
That's it.
my man didn't give a fuck about that and was like, nah.
No, it's cool. I know,
But
yeah.
but if say in different timeline that was like he was like, yeah, I want to go back to this and it is a visual thing. That's still you're looking at somebody and entertaining somebody that I am not.
Are you
I'm
entertaining
not-
though? Hold on,
If
because you
you're not
guys keep saying
communicating with the person.
But it can lead to that because remember your
That's
thoughts
a slippery slope.
your thoughts, your words, the things that you do, like your thoughts are a part of who you are and what you do. So the way you act in this world comes at first
Because I
from thought.
feel like to take it to the extreme, that would be like me going through your phone and saying delete all the guys in your phone, and 'cause
Right.
that could lead to
No, it's not.
Yes.
It's not
or
the
delete.
same.
Okay, or
It is
don't
the
delete the
same.
number, but delete all their messages
It's
because
not the same,
at one
like,
point,
it
even
is the
before
same.
we were
If I
there, you had inappropriate communication.
It's not the same in the sense that if I am not constantly, like if I was liking that guy's stuff all the time and I was talking to him on an everyday basis, then I would say, yeah, my man definitely needs to be like, bitch, cut it
But
the
you
fuck
said the
out.
main thing right there, though,
But-
talking to the
Yeah,
person.
you communicate
There's
with the
no
person.
say. First off, saves, right, is an anonymous act.
Right, the person doesn't know.
Yeah, nobody knows who saved your stuff.
Okay, but remember, we all know that men and women go for different things.
Okay.
So
True.
men are visual creatures, women are emotional.
For sure.
So I use talking as a point of reference to how
Which
I
is
am.
even worse
But
because
for
your
you,
conversations
it's not-
carry
it's
that
not
much.
work
Time out.
because-
Perfect example. If you're talking about that, the text messages, I feel like a lot of women go back to text message conversations that they had with men in the past and reminisce on that.
Or like stuffed
Right.
animals.
So that's equivalent to you
keepsakes,
saving
To
a
saving
photo.
a photo.
Things
but a
like
man is
that.
not gonna go and tell you delete all the messages that are in the phone, and
I guess, but
he's
I'm
not gonna do that. As
I'm-
long as you're not communicating with that person, then
I'm
we're
an
good.
Speaking
But you're
of
not gonna
which,
ask
though.
why?
I do delete.
Ask
Like,
why you still have the messages?
No, yeah. So like,
okay.
Oh
sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
all right. So like, let's say I have a message with an ex that I was in in a 7-year relationship with,
sure.
right? And like the last saved message I have is "I love you." Like he said, "I love you. I wish I can have you back," and I was just like, "I love you too." Right? Saved in my phone. If my man goes to my phone, he'll be like, Why is that still there? Like, why do you keep looking at it? Why is that pinned to the top?
To the top is a little strong.
I feel like that's equivalent
Or
to
why is
saving
that
it.
exactly? Why is that saved in your phone? Why is that something that you even go back on? Like, why wouldn't you get rid of it?
Why couldn't
like-
why couldn't you just like it and kept it pushing?
I think you
Look,
could, and
you
I'm not
could.
going to say that you're wrong there. I think not to just kind of put a pin in this whole thing, but I think at the core of it all, we're talking about insecurity, and not in the
Yes.
sense of like a negative sense, because I feel like in any relationship, if there is insecurity, it's on the partner who the opposite partner is to make that person feel secure in some way, to address that. And that means that there was some reason why that insecurity has bubbled up in the first place, right? Like you pointed out like, oh, I'm looking at this girl that he's looking at because she does this, that, or the third. That's like if my girl she wants the dude who's benching like 305 and has a 6-pack, right? She's looking at like a Michael B. Jordan type of body type of
Women
dude.
do that, though.
Right? But they do that. But see, now if I am insecure about my body, I may focus on it more than if I'm not. Like, if I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, that muscled up nigga over there, got it, fine. You like me for other reasons beyond that. I was never a muscle nigga when you met
Right,
me. Like,
right.
I've never been that.
Right.
So, like, are we gonna go get some cheeseburgers or nah? What's up? You know what I'm saying? What are we
I
doing?
mean, no, like, all right, so me and my boyfriend have a like celebrity list.
Oh, y'all
It's
got
a
hall
very-
passes?
it's a-
Y'all got hall passes?
It's a very short list. It's a very short list, but it's there, and we laugh about it because those people realistically are not attainable. They're not like who we're actually going to like. The past will more than likely never ever be used in this lifetime. So that kind of thing to me is reasonable. But again, I find that in social media, if it's somebody you know and again you're continuously like liking and going back to that page, to me that says more because that person is reachable, is attainable, is somebody that you know and have had contact with. So to me, I don't.
No, I agree there. And I think that maybe if it's an attainable person, that makes sense. Now, what if it was like, this big flood of OnlyFans girls that are just out there, right? This is somebody who they don't know. Maybe
I guess I'm not as likely to be mad just because like it's not like I don't think that my boyfriend doesn't watch. Like, I mean, I don't even know
that's
if
the
he
next
still
question.
does.
Does he?
But
Yeah.
like, if he does, he does. I mean, it's not like it's the biggest deal in the world to me because that I also feel is like they're not real people like in our lives.
Right.
So I don't know. To me, that to me is not as bad. But again, if it's somebody that, example, it's like it's Rayven, and my man is going back to her pictures, and me and Rayven are built differently. I'm gonna be like, well, shit. And she's attainable. She's somebody that, in this scenario, my man knows. Then I'm gonna be like, well, what the fuck? Because I don't have those assets. So why are you going after her pictures like that? And you're doing, because, Raven's gonna see it, right? You're good. It's not like she's a real person
Saves
in
don't
the circle.
saves
Yeah,
they don't
saves are
see.
anonymous.
Saves are anonymous.
No, but if
The
you,
likes,
but
yeah.
it, but the,
Likes,
that's
yeah,
what I'm
likes,
saying.
yeah.
More than likely, when you save something, you've liked it as well.
I think there needs to be a level of trust to where if, let's say, I like one of Raven's pictures, right? And Raven responds or slides in my DM, I should communicate with my girl.
That's
you know
a
what I mean? Like
yeah.
there needs to be that level of
Yeah.
trust.
Right.
And I feel like making those statements, there's a level of insecurity to where it's like, well, maybe if he likes too many pictures, she might
Get the
But
wrong
I-
idea. She feel
And
like
they
she got the
will-
green
you know what I'm
light.
saying?
She got the green light.
I think that's why Instagram got rid of that feature where
So you
used
can
to be
see
able
it?
to see.
It was one of the
Remember-
dudes
remember
in
used
the,
to-
he was like, yo, I gotta look. But you
Bro.
know what? I'm gonna keep it 100. It's still there. You just gotta search a
Hey,
little
don't be
deeper.
saying some shit like that, bro.
What? You gotta
Relax.
Hold on, you gonna show me
Relax.
something?
Yeah,
E-Man just
you
done
gotta
threw
dig a
like
little deeper.
mad niggas under the bus just now.
You gotta dig a little deeper.
We
but
gonna
you
talk
know,
about this later.
for sure. For
Hold on.
$5.99, you can slide in my DM and I'll put you on.
Jeez, that's crazy. Okay, Ray, what was you gonna
I was
say?
gonna say that I'm like a true believer that we're a product of our environment. Like
sure.
if I go home and I'm watching, I don't know, like Family Guy or whatever, I'm gonna start, laughing like Quagmire,
Making jokes
yeah.
like-
Making jokes like
so
that.
I just feel like, men like visualizing, these women on an everyday basis, 24/7, like that's gonna become part of your reality.
Okay. Okay.
This is what women should look like. This is how women should
Yes,
act.
I
This
do
is
think-
how she should perform in the bedroom,
It,
right?
it creates unrealistic expectations.
That's real.
I actually
Expectation or desire?
no
Both.
unrealistic expectation.
Both.
I think that it follows.
And yes, and desire.
It
But
follows.
I will say this: goes into a dating horror story.
Okay.
I dated a guy who legitimately was like, he was built, nice looking dude, had a good job and all that, and had a nice whatever. But couldn't. It was the worst sex I've ever had in my life, and it was because he was doing it like like a
Oh,
high
he was
school
trying
kid.
to just
He was
just
and
going
it was
crazy.
like it was like porn stars like bah, bah, bah. And I was like, okay, but there's no rhythm.
Mm.
Exactly.
There's no motion in this ocean. This is just, and I am waiting for this to be over.
Okay,
Like,
now I will say this though, right? You're right. That's crazy. Niggas do take whatever examples. I also think that there's just an absence of sexual knowledge, right? In
1000%.
general, because like for porn, most guys will tell you porn is their first teacher.
Yes.
It just is. It's the first time you really even seen it. Most times by accident or when you weren't supposed to. Now, there's very few things that people actually go through healthily, because even in health classes, sex ed, they don't go through rhythm, they don't go through pace, they don't go through touch. They go through, do this shit, 9 months later, you're gonna see something happen.
Yeah.
Right?
This kind of goes back to what I was telling you, which is why I wasn't against like that thing that you had sent me about the school that had like, they had brought in like dildos
Toys
and
and
all
shit.
this other stuff. Because if you don't teach these kids, if you don't like not kids, but like these teenagers, if you don't teach them these things, how will they ever know what is okay for them to accept from somebody else to do to their body?
Yeah.
How will they ever know it is okay to feel pleasure? We're human, like that. We're built to feel that.
Gotcha.
They need to know these things, and they need to know when is the time in their mind to say, no, I don't like that.
So-
I don't want that.
As an adult, how do y'all feel about pleasure mapping?
Oh, that's key. You gotta do that.
Huh?
I have to
So I need to
slide
be
off. Though.
educated.
I have to slide off.
Oh, you gotta slide off?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Then, question for y'all. How do y'all feel about pleasure mapping?
What's pleasure mapping?
So, it's a complicated way to communicate your likes to your partner, right? So, in theory, and excuse me if I'm getting this wrong, y'all correct me in the comments, whatever. You start by like probably a discussion. Eventually, y'all move towards like mutual masturbation, or like not even mutual. You sit and you watch your partner, then they watch you. Then you kind of work in like oral. It's almost like you're tutoring your partner in what is your body.
I mean, I think it's important for the person to know how to pleasure you, you know, and if I have to show you, that's fine too. But I think it kind of limits what could be explored, you know, because I don't want to just teach somebody like, oh, this is what you do, and that gets done every time. Like, I want to
That's a good
discover,
point.
you know, like a new thing, like, ooh, okay, this is new.
Yeah.
Let's add that to our map, wherever you want to call
Oh,
it.
there you go, right?
No, I think see, and it's funny because Jada definitely caught some heat for this, and trust me, I don't agree with what a lot of
The
this
way
woman
she be
says.
saying things, man. It's in
But-
how you present it.
But I think it's also how people take that information. Because what she said was a real thing. It's something where in the society we've built a wall between our sexual partners and ourselves where it's uncomfortable to say, I didn't like that. Or, yes, I really enjoyed that. Like, keep going. Or, you know, you could do this. That would make it better. For fear of making your partner feel inadequate and then you become demonized.
Somehow I don't feel like she said it like that, but
So,
you know.
but her exact words weren't that, but
That's 'cause you made a good
she
point.
did talk
Yeah.
about she had to teach Will how to be with
Absolutely.
her. They had to learn each other, and so that to me is very important. I do think that like I've had these conversations with my partner, and I think it does make a very big difference.
Yeah, not everybody's. It's not. Sex is not one size fits all.
It's not.
It's
So,
not. It's
yeah.
not. And then you want to know what you're doing wrong too. Like I feel that at some point you have to like quail your ego and be like, okay.
What's the best way to tell them? Like, say for all the ladies out there, dude thinks he's killing it, thinks he's doing it. Sorry, think he's doing like the best thing he's ever done. You're getting a reaction, but sometimes, guys, when she's moving around, she's running away because it hurts.
But sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like, just say in that example, men take pride in that because they're gonna think, oh, she's running away because it hurts because my dick is big, and that's not the case.
There's good hurt and there's bad hurt, bro.
But you get what I feel like in those situations, like
I definitely understand what you're saying.
You get,
yeah.
Okay. So how do you tackle both of those situations, those scenarios?
I think in that instance, instead of, because you don't have to put your partner down on what they're doing to communicate effectively. You can say, like, I really enjoyed this, or can we switch it up to this? Or like, you know, like I don't think I've ever had an instance with my partner where we say something that we didn't like. It's all about what we do like and what we could do more
Positive
of.
reinforcement.
Exactly.
Positive
So
reinforcement.
I'm not bringing up anything you did that maybe wasn't that great.
What's the most uncomfortable thing? What's real uncomfortable? What's the most uncomfortable thing that you just had to be like, whoa, don't do that shit again?
I honestly can't say. I don't think I've had a moment like that with my partner. With anybody
Just
else?
anybody. Not like, I wouldn't want you to, yeah.
It was that ex that I had.
Oh,
He
that
was,
dude
like,
that just
ramming me,
just
and I was
started to like
gross.
dived off the top rope on you and some shit. Yeah.
I was like, come on, stop. Like it was uncomfortable, and it just wasn't.
Okay.
I think I've had some bad instances with like, somebody going down on me before.
Okay. They tried the letter trick.
And it's
The
just
alphabet.
like,
spelling your name.
Spelling your name.
it's just like, and as women, we just kind of like, okay, is this over already? Is it over? Because I want this to end.
At that point, I kind of just, we wouldn't change the scenery.
Stage left. Like,
We don't change the scenery. You come here. We gonna figure this out.
Right. You do the oh Nick. Like, yeah, right.
We gonna figure this out.
I'm a horrible person, but I done fake cried my way out of something.
Oh jeez.
Yep.
Damn. I mean, I think stopping them and feeling comfortable is all familiarity. And I kind of want to pivot into something about familiarity. How do you feel about somebody dating somebody from your past?
Nope.
It's hard no?
It's a hard no, unless it's like high school pass.
Yeah.
In which case I'm like, we're adults. I don't even, at this point, anybody I dated in high school, I didn't really date you. Like,
Oh, gee,
Yo,
you just gonna retcon
I,
your
yo,
whole,
I,
whole
del- yo,
history?
I delete my past. Like everybody before the person that I date now, y'all don't exist. I don't know where the camera is facing, but y'all don't exist.
That's crazy.
y'all ain't real.
She just stand those
I have
sleeves
one
like
man
that's
and one man only. Okay.
all right.
But
Bravo though.
I'm okay with the past, depending on, how important that person meant to you in that moment. Like, if it was someone that you were talking to and it didn't work out, by all means, but my biggest thing for my friend currently, like, let's say it ended off bad and you seen him do me dirty, like, what makes you think
It won't be you.
it won't be you?
Yeah.
Like, so don't call me complaining about the same shit I was calling you and
Say, I don't
complaining
wanna hear
about
that shit.
because we looking in the mirror right now, sis. You were me, okay?
Yeah.
And I can't help you.
What's the statute of limitations on that though? Like, is there a timeline? Like, how far in the past?
There's a timeline.
I think more than the timeline, it depends on how seriously I took that relationship. Like if it was somebody that I casually dated, I don't know that I'd care as much how soon or later it was. But if it like, God forbid, knock on wood,
She's like, let me find it.
me and my man broke up right now. There is not enough time in the universe to make me feel okay with
this one?
anybody that I know dating that man. I, again, murder. Like, I would absolutely lose my mind because that is somebody that I am very much in love with.
And you're looking to marry. Like,
Yes.
I feel like when the idea of marriage is involved, like, it's off limits. Like, I feel like that's to the level
line.
where we start putting hands on,
Okay.
And then
so you're letting L rub off on you too much. You're talking about throwing hands
No,
on it?
but it's a respect thing, and I feel like that comes from both parties. You get what I mean?
No,
I feel like a
absolutely.
lot of times, like, people will get into these relationships and not tell you. And it turns into a point where it's like, oh, you didn't know? And it's kind of like you guys should have been said something to begin with,
Right. So then my question is, I know for guys, one of the biggest problems that we usually see is that there are some guys whose game is to wait your relationship out or to wait your talking to this person out. Like, you ever heard of like dirty macking? Like there'll be the guy who is ready to console your ex after things go south.
Yes.
The guys who's like, yeah, man, I knew I could have told you, yeah, my boy has always been a dog. He shouldn't even did you like that. I used to tell him how good of a girl you were. Yeah, I couldn't even understand why you was even with him.
I legitimately had the only, to me, what I consider the only other really very serious relationship I've had. His friend actually reached out to me and said, "What happened? Why'd you guys break up?" And I was like, "Why don't you go ask him? Why are you messaging me about this?" And he was like, "No, but like, block. Like, why are you talking
I appreciate the
to
integrity
me?
there.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, and recently, one of my friends said the same thing that she's dealing with right now. A guy doing the same thing, and we were both laughing at this guy's picture and like talking shit because it's like, why are you doing this? Like, you realize I just got out of something serious with somebody that you know, and you really think that I want you now?
So I got a story.
Okay.
All right, so I was talking to this dude, and he had told me, he came to me one day and was just like, oh, I seen your man in this part of the hood, like, you know what I mean, about to go chill with this chick. Like, I asked him, like, oh, what are you doing over here? And he was like, oh, I'm about to go chill with a shawty, right? So then he's telling me this information. So at this point, like me, I don't have anger issues, but it doesn't take me a lot to get upset. So I'm fuming, right? At this point, I'm kind of like, fuck what you saying. Let me go find my man, right? So he was supposed to be coming to the area that I was at. I waited for him to come. And at that point, I'm escalating. He don't even know why I'm escalating. He just see me being upset. And I told him what this person mentioned. And he's like, oh, nah, that didn't happen. Like, whatever. And then it turned into like, oh, it did happen. I said it, but I knew it was a joke. right?
Okay.
So then I'm coming back to this person because I like to go to the source,
Of
you
course.
know, and he was like, oh, he could have been joking, but you know what I mean? Like it came out his mouth and now he's piggybacking off what he was saying now
Yeah.
that all parties are here. But prior to my man coming there, you know, at that point he was like, oh, let me console you. Like, you know, like chill with me, talk with me. Like, you know, I'm like crying in the bathroom. He giving me, you know,
Jesus.
like, you know, napkins to wipe my face, you know, touching me, hugging me, kind of like, you know, and I feel like to me that's fucked up.
Watch your homies.
You gotta watch your homeboys.
Yep.
You gotta watch them.
You gotta
That's
know who
crazy.
your real friends are, cause hell to the no.
That's
And
wild.
That's not me anymore. But at that time, like I'm just thinking, like, you know, I put all bets on what he was saying. You get what I mean? You can't do that with people
Yeah.
because not everybody has the best intentions for you.
Again, I think that it's really messed up when it's those guys because they see cracks in the armor and they're ready to like wiggle in there and like kind of make the distance bigger. But is there all right, so somebody specifically asked me, what if they didn't know that you talked to him? This friend that you had that say y'all had this relationship, y'all was getting ready for marriage, but this other friend was away for some time for some reason. Is there a line? Is there something that's excusable in that?
No, because I feel like if you're my friend, you would know.
You would have known? Okay.
You would know. And I feel like you would have did your history because I feel like the first, you know, couple weeks of talking to somebody, that's where you get their Carfax. You know, they'd be like, oh, like, you're from the city? Yeah, who do you know? And you say, oh, I know Rayven. Oh, how you know Rayven? Oh, that used to be my ex. It should be done it. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not
Oh,
gonna.
okay. I feel you.
I'm not gonna lie. That's definitely true.
Okay.
That's definitely something that we've spoken about, and I don't like it if
Okay. All right.
if that happens on either side of things, you know. Because again, I know me when I like somebody, all my friends know. There's no like.
Love out loud, people. And so if you had to confront somebody or had to deal, if you were see somebody in this situation, they gotta figure it out for themselves. What do you think the advice should be to them? Dealing with the friend, dealing with the ex, dealing with any of that, even maybe dealing with themselves. How should they handle that?
I feel like you need to identify like how much you care about the situation because if you don't care, there's no point of starting all that drama. But if you're hurt from it, I feel like you need to be vocal to all parties. You need to let your friend know how, you know, you feel that situation if you want to continue that friendship being in the current relationship that you know that you are in.
Absolutely.
And then you need to set boundaries with the man that used to be your ex and the friend. Because I know, like in my friend group, something similar like this happened to me. And some people feel like they still have access to you based off the relationship that you have with your friend, you know? So you need to, like, whatever access they feel like they have, you need to cut that off immediately. Like, you're no longer my ex, you're my friend's man, and then we're gonna keep it like that, you know?
Yep. We're not even cool unless that person is around. Like I don't see you, I don't speak to you unless that person is around.
All right. Well, on that note, Ray, you let them know where they can find you. Let them know what you got going on.
You can find me on Instagram. You can save my pictures underneath Raybans_XO.
Just be expecting the hands when you save it, because apparently that's a thing you're not supposed to do. Elle, what you got for him?
What you mean? What?
Where can they find you?
Oh, we doing this? We don't know my Instagram. Hold on, I don't even know my Instagram. Hold up.
Shoot.
Hold up. I got y'all. Okay, my Instagram is @love_LELLE_XO.
That's a lot. Forget about it. Don't
Your
even worry
face is a
about it.
lot. Your face is a lot. Thank
So
you.
I am C-Tez, and this has been another episode of Real
Nah, yeah, I'm not
and
gonna.
Uncomfortable.
Okay.
Let me move back.
Tryna level up, better get with us. Gotta keep it real, cause you know it's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and uncomfortable. It's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and